So with Night of Champions being this Saturday, I figured it's the perfect opportunity to give you guys my sort of rundown for this 6-match card, PLE, I guess you could say, for Saudi Arabia Night of Champions. I keep forgetting what fucking title this PLE has. To me, I keep thinking it's Crown Jewel or, whatever the other Saudi events are, because literally I don't know, it's like just a different name for these Saudi events. But regardless, they're going to soldier on with the Saudi event regardless of what's going on with the entire world. I know personally, if I'm somebody like a CM Punk, I am kind of rethinking my approach as far as why I'm going over there. But regardless, they're going over there. We're gonna have a 6-match card, and I figured it's the perfect time to give you my thoughts and my predictions for what we may see going into Night of Champions. But we're gonna start off here with Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was in the beginning rounds for the King of the Ring tournament, but he ended up losing to Randy Orton. So now he was, he's super over, by the way, on Saudi Arabia events, right? He goes over there, he's super over. They're obviously not going to feature Sami Zayn on one of these shows. And to me, it's perfect that we finally get a Karrion Kross PLE match, because the last time that Karrion Kross had a PLE match was WrestleMania 40. So let that sink in. WrestleMania 40 was the last time we saw Karrion Kross on a premium live event. We saw an entire Cody Rhodes championship run before we even saw Karrion Kross back on a PLE. So it's good to have him there. It's good to have him featured against obviously somebody that they've been telling the story with Sami Zayn. I do believe 100% though that Sami Zayn is going to get the win here. I don't see Karrion Kross losing. If anything, I could see the finish where Karrion Kross sort of, gives in to Sami Zayn, kind of like how Karrion Kross let AJ Styles win that one time on Raw. I could see that sort of being the finish here. Next, we move on to Rhea Ripley against Raquel Rodriguez, and what I presume is a street fight or something along those lines. Regardless, I do see Rhea Ripley getting the win here. They could have Raquel get the win due to, I guess, Roxanne Perez and her involvement, because like I said previously, I feel like they are going to start to push the whole Roxanne, wooing away everything that Liv Morgan, that meant a lot to Liv Morgan, right? The Judgment Day, Raquel, Dominic, the Women's Championship. So everything that Liv cherishes, I foresee that Roxanne is going to take. But I'm still going to stick here with Rhea Ripley. She's a major name. I don't really see Raquel going over on Rhea Ripley, to be honest. And next we move on to the Women's Queen of the Ring tournament, that being Jade Cargill against Asuka. Like I said before, I predict 100% Jade to win here. I think the story is either Jade against Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam, or Jade against Naomi at SummerSlam, with Naomi being the champion, being the defending champion by that time. And then maybe we get some sort of Bianca twist at the end of SummerSlam in her match with Jade. I don't know. There's several different routes they can go with that. I do believe Asuka is going to challenge Io at SummerSlam. I feel like they've kind of teased that somewhat, and you can get there without giving Asuka the Queen of the Ring tournament. So I'm gonna stick to my guns here and stick to Jade. Next, we have the United States Championship, that being a Solo Sikoa against Jacob Fatu. So a couple months ago, I never would have thought that this match, the first match between these two guys, would take place at a Saudi Arabia event. I would have kind of figured either WrestleMania or a Backlash or something along those lines, but this is the first inaugural match for these two guys. I don't see Jacob Fatu beating Solo Sikoa here. This is their first match. You can't really squash the storyline, the feud already in their first match, because if Jacob beats Solo, what does Solo do afterwards? And I do foresee you may see a new Bloodline member, that being Hikuleo. I think he's going by Talatanga or something along those lines. I think you may see Hikuleo pop up here and aid Solo, and now Jacob Fatu has to get back at Solo, but he has to go through first JC Mateo and Hikuleo, if he's even called that by that point. So I'm going with Solo here to win the United States Championship. Next, we move on to the men's King of the Ring, that being Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton. Like I said on my Raw review, Raw post show, I'm glad we're getting this match, but I'm also kind of, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't disappointed that we're getting this match just because it's the finals. Like, I would have envisioned this match at a SummerSlam, right? Maybe Cody turns on Randy, or Randy turns on Cody, or something along those lines. Regardless, I do see Cody Rhodes getting the win here. I do see him challenging John Cena. And very interesting to that point, because Cody Rhodes has alluded to in the past whether he may or may not go heel, and we know John Cena's heel turn is coming to an end. So is it possible that we may see a double turn at SummerSlam? I'm kind of just throwing that out there. I don't really believe that's going to happen. I do believe it's just going to be a straight line. Cody goes to SummerSlam, beats John Cena for the championship, and gets the championship back, and maybe Randy turns heel following that against Cody, and we get the whole, Voices, RKO, Randy Orton, 2009 Randy Orton back against Cody Rhodes. That may be the situation we're going in, but it's a very interesting thought that I've, had lingering in my head for the last couple of days. So I'm going to stick with Cody Rhodes as the King of the Ring. And now we move on to the main event match, which, if I'm being honest, this is really the match that I think a lot of people are even watching this show for, and that's CM Punk against John Cena. CM Punk and John Cena had their last match in 2013 on a random episode of Raw to see who would challenge The Rock at WrestleMania. And now 12 years later, they have their last match in Saudi Arabia. Listen, every time CM Punk and John Cena are in the ring together, whether it's promos, whether it's matches, they pull out the best out of each other. And a lot of people have compared Randy Orton to being Cena's greatest rival, or The Rock as being the greatest rival, or Edge being the greatest rival for John Cena. I think CM Punk is up there, and I think CM Punk is probably the greatest rival that I think of when it comes to John Cena, because literally these last 2 weeks or so, John Cena's heel turn has felt fresh, it's felt new, right? And that's a lot to do with CM Punk. Does CM Punk win the championship here, though? I don't believe so. I don't believe CM Punk wins the championship here. If he does win it, and it's probably going to be for 2 minutes or so until Seth Rollins comes out here and cashes in, if that's a possibility, or maybe Seth Rollins just rears his head here during the match, kind of just reminding us that he's there. But at the end of the day, like I said, if Cody's winning the King of the Ring tournament, it's kind of hard for me to envision John Cena not losing here in this PLE in Saudi Arabia. So I'm going to stick with John Cena. I think, if they want to do a triple threat at SummerSlam between Punk, Cena, and Cody, that would be great as well. But like I said, I don't really see them going down that route. So let me know what you guys think down below of my predictions here. Let me know what you're thinking of as far as this whole match card goes. Let me know if your predictions align up with mine. And until next time, I will see all of you on the next one.